Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Fit Chicks Unfiltered. I'm your host, Ashley,
And I'm Callie.
and we are here with another episode that I think is kind of coming right on time as we just got off a holiday.
Mm, absolutely. Yeah, that's when the real stuff unfolds. When
It's
anytime around a
true.
holiday, you're tested.
You are tested. You are tested. No, we're not sure when you guys are listening to this, but the time that we're recording this, we are just getting off Memorial Day. How was your Memorial Day?
Honestly, it was so low key. It was
Same.
perfect. We went to the pool a couple days before that, and that was Ace's first time like in the pool, which was so cute and so fun.
Did he like the
But
water?
yes, he's like a little fish. He was like kicking his
Oh,
legs and stuff. And I mean,
oh, cute.
I have to literally show you a picture, but it was awesome. I think it's going to be something that I think just in general we start building into just things we do throughout the day because I mean, I don't know. I think it's only good for him to be acclimated to the water first of all.
Oh, I agree. I feel like you should learn how to swim as soon as possible. You
What
never know
about
when you
you?
might
How
need
was your
that.
Memorial Day?
It was good. It was very chill. I trained clients, and then I had off of spin class because the gym closed early. So I came home and I meal prepped
Nice.
and went to bed early. It was our first like decent day here in Rochester. So we're finally getting out of the cold. It's going to be 80 today, and we haven't seen 80 yet. So,
What? Yes, you better get outside, girl.
for sure, for sure. So, I love this is your topic idea, and I love that you brought it up because I know we both coach clients, right? And I think one thing that has been consistent among however you coach, whoever you coach, is the holidays can be rough, and we tend to self sabotage and use them as excuses to break our habits that we've like built up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that sometimes kind of triggers for a lot of people either the all or nothing mentality because they failed because it was a holiday, or it triggers them back into like self-sabotage in a different degree to where it's like these micro, I don't want to use the word failures, but like giving yourself grace and giving yourself grace to where it's like it's beyond giving yourself grace and all of a sudden you're off plan.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, like, what did you have in mind when you came up with the idea that your habits are telling on you? Where did your mind go?
So, okay, I think there's a couple things. I think one, just as a coach, like, and as like an athlete, your check-ins reveal a lot,
Don't
right?
they?
So
Oh my
like it
God.
always, the body doesn't lie, and sometimes yes there are anomalies, but 9 times out of 10 it might not be what you think. Like you might not be checking the boxes like like you think you are. And I think
Mm-hmm.
like your habits are a direct mirror of sometimes some of the things that people are like, oh, I'm just stumped. I know I've done this, I've done that, nothing's working, and it's like, oh, okay, well, let's take a closer look, one, and let's really figure out like how dialed in are you on your nutrition, or what are you doing
Mm-hmm.
over the weekend? What are you actually prioritizing? Like, where are you at mentally? There's so many things that kind of add up to why sometimes the it could be for some people the scale's not moving, or it up or down, or there just aren't any physical changes.
Yeah. I also think that we underestimate or don't give enough credit to the subconscious habits that we have. I think so much of life and what we do is this idea of muscle memory, right? It immediately makes me think to like a previous version of myself, and I may be talking to some of you out there that used to like be up watching Netflix until like 2 3 a.m, and that was the habit, right? But if I'm up watching Netflix till 2 or 3 a.m., that means I'm getting up later. If I'm
Yeah,
getting up later, that means half the day is gone, and that means I can't prioritize the habits that I'm looking to build,
yeah.
right? Or create.
Or make space for, like, that's one
Yeah.
thing that I always think about too that has stuck with me is when I started thinking about it in terms of like sometimes you have all the space taken up that you can take up. So, like, what are the things you have to get rid of in order to make space for new things and new growth and the things that you're really trying to like work on and manifest and become?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Yeah, I think honestly, it's like I said, I think habits are a mirror. They totally expose what you're prioritizing, maybe the work that you're avoiding, what you actually believe deep down that you truly deserve, how you're dealing with stress throughout the day or throughout the weeks, and how much like you actually trust the process, trust your coach, and trust yourself.
I want to go back to what you said. Your habits reveal what you're prioritizing, right? And like speaking to the folks who have developed nasty little habits that they're looking to like get rid of. I think that's where kind of the shadow work comes in, right? It's like we have to take a strong look at what we are prioritizing, like you said. You know, for a lot of people, it's a dopamine hit.
Yeah.
It's instant gratification. You know,
Yes.
it makes me think of like the Ben and Jerry's in the freezer, you know, and you eat Ben and Jerry's every single night or every other night, you know, or twice a week. And I'm not saying you can't eat Ben and Jerry's, but what I am saying is sometimes, guys, if we have a fucking goal, like it is, you can't have the Ben and Jerry's. Like
Yeah.
it just is,
Sometimes you
yeah,
have to
like
harden up.
right. You just have to harden up, right? Like I'm sick of this like foo love and light bullshit in the sense that it's like, oh, you know, like everything in moderation. Like if you have a big ass goal, it's almost kind of like if your goal is to have 100K in your savings account by the end of the year, then maybe you shouldn't spend $600 on the new Gymshark drop every time they drop something.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like maybe your clothing from last year are just is just gonna have to do.
Yeah. And I
And
mean,
yeah,
big
go ahead.
advocate for manifestation, but at the same time, manifestation I think truly is when you are telling yourself something enough to where your habits actually change to help align you to
Align.
it. You can't just be like, I want 100K in my bank account and I'm still spending all the money on DoorDash and all the new drops
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all the, whatever,
No, I
and it's
totally
gonna happen.
agree. I totally agree. And like I love this topic because it makes me think of not just fitness but like every area of life. Your habits are telling on you. I mean, relationships. You know, you and your partner need to have a stronger relationship or a stronger foundation, but you spend every evening in different parts of the house.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a habit. It's become a habit where you guys are used to this. You're used to coming home after work and you go your way, they go their way, and then you come together when it's time for bed. And then you just go to sleep, and then you know that you and your partner are drifting apart.
Yes.
Like,
And
your
you've
habits are
created
telling on you.
disconnection.
Exactly. So how do we recreate connection?
Hmm.
And so I think the statement your habits are telling on you is just so stinking powerful because we can look at it through many different veins and lenses. And the idea that we've got, quote, shit habits we're looking to break apart, and then also our good habits. Like going back to what you said at the top of this, the idea that your check-in photos reveal a lot. Did this come to you? Like, were you like going over check-ins with somebody and this kind of came up? I think that was very pointed.
Yeah, it was. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking of one client in specific, and I'm not picking on him because he's awesome. And I think if
Mm-hmm.
he's listening to this, he'll know I'm talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
But he is recently he's going through his glow up right now. He is showing up. He is lifting heavier than he ever has. The scale is finally moving.
Yeah.
And you can just see it. Like he's radiating happiness. Why? Because he's actually ticking all the boxes. And before he said he was ticking all the boxes, but
Yeah.
the scale wasn't moving, which is fine. There's body recount, it's scale
Right.
is not the number one indicator. But there was a major plateau happening. But there was so much in terms of I think the real thing is he wasn't really prioritizing it. He was
Mm-hmm.
prioritizing it ish. And
Ish.
now that he has, it's like, whoa. And I think he's seen that and he's recognized it. And that's a beautiful thing to see because it's just like we've spoken about before. Once you taste the Kool-Aid and you realize how good it tastes, like, you're like, I get it now. I understand what
Mm-hmm.
it takes to take it to the next level. And I want to keep
Mm-hmm.
doing this because I'm enjoying it because I'm seeing the fruits of my labor now.
Yeah.
Um, and it just sometimes comes down to that. And I think all day long we can sit here and say like I want strength, I want confidence, I want success, I want change or anything, but your habits are going to reveal the truth of what you're actually doing faster than those words or those wants and desires ever will. So that's kind of where that came from because I think that was a beautiful little full circle moment for him in the past few weeks where I'm like, I can tell you're showing up. Your check-ins can tell, like, I can see that you're showing up. And I think that's powerful in itself.
Yeah, I've been listening to Goggins a lot lately for a number of reasons. David Goggins is who I'm talking about, friends. I listened to him a lot during my first prep in the top of 2024. And then, I've since gotten away from him and now I'm bringing him back. And my point here is because it's like when we reach one level, right? We reach that level, but to get to the next level, it takes a different level of habit stacking.
Yes.
What got you here, what got you to A isn't necessarily going to get you to B. You might need a little more to get you to B.
Yes.
And Goggins was saying that today, and I think that's so important and relevant because a lot of folks, especially folks who do invest in coaching, they tend to already kind of know what's up. They're not green, if you will. And I think when it comes to having a coach and having the accountability, we have to have an honest conversation with ourselves and realize, okay, yeah, like we made some strides, like we did our big one, like we lost X amount of pounds by ourselves or with this coach or did that, or, we put on this muscle, this part of muscle or whatever the hell we did. But I think there's something to be said about taking it to the next level and having a different set of habits. Maybe you did your workout on your lunch break and maybe now it's got to move to before work because you need a little more time.
100%.
And maybe that means you have to get up an hour and a half earlier. That might be what needs to happen.
Yeah.
I was actually just talking to a client of mine. She really wants to bodybuild, like so bad. And girl, she's got the physique for it. She would fucking slap and figure. She figure. Oh my God.
Love that.
And yeah, and she's been going to my classes for a year and a half, and she finally like pulled the trigger in coaching with me. And since she pulled the trigger in coaching with me, she tends to do her workouts early in the morning before she starts work. She starts work at 7 a.m. So she's there at the ass crack of dawn. And she has been really slacking on her cardio, like not even doing it, like not even trying to do it. And there's a lot of adjustment happening with having the accountability, having a coach, the workouts, the programs. And she told me, she goes, I'm just not doing it. And I told her, I'm like, babe, you might need to do your cardio fasted in the morning to get it done. And then switch your lift until after work. Like, and so I say this for you guys listening, like, this is kind of what we're talking about. What she was doing got her to this point. Getting her lift done early in the morning. You already know homegirl was probably fasted because who's eating breakfast at 5 a.m.?
Yeah.
So that already isn't going to work for somebody, especially who wants to enter in the bodybuilding space. But it's like, for your specific goals, you have a cardio protocol, and you're not even trying to hit your cardio protocol because you're rushing to get your lift done in the morning before you start work at 7 a.m. But your cardio protocol needs to not be neglected at all. So what do we have to do? We have to change the habit in order to get the work done.
Right. 100%. And another way I've compared it to with some of my clients in the past where, say the first 30 pounds came off like butter. And I'm like, you've entered level 2 of this video game.
Literally.
Which means it is harder. There are more things you need to do. There are more hidden secrets you need to figure out. So, like, it's a whole different level. And it's great because you've leveled up into this next level. But you also need to realize it's not the same.
Excuse me. I'm so glad you're bringing it up because that's kind of where I am right now. I'm like in the midst of a spiritual awakening and a crash out in the sense that like it's getting hard. Yeah. It's getting hard. And what was working is no longer working. And working with my coach, and not to continue to harp on coaching, but guys, I'm telling you, it's the fucking mecca of cheat codes.
It is. It really is.
It is. I'm noticing a pattern in my own work. I'm on for a week, I'm off for a week. I'm on for 2 weeks, I'm off for a week. That used to be able to fly when I was sitting in the fucking 200s. I used to be able to do that. No problem. And still lose weight. Now, I'm not, girl. I'm not gaining, but I'm also not losing like I should be. And much like your client, I'm like, I'm checking all my boxes. Your habits are telling on you. No, the fuck I'm not. No, I'm not.
And you start to really think and believe.
You convince
that
yourself
you have done everything.
That you're doing everything. Isn't that crazy how strong the mind is?
It is. It is. And that's why insane. I like this topic so much. And I think it's so powerful. And I think there's different types. And I kind of broke it down in my mind to different types of like habits that are kind of sneaky. So like,
let's talk about it.
Yeah, so like one of them being the like I don't have time habit.
Ooh, that's
So
such a good one.
yeah, so if you're that person, like I, and everybody's got a little bit of this person in them. So
Everybody.
if you,
And we all think that our stuff is so much more important than the next person's stuff.
yes,
Yes, we all
and
think we've got so much to do.
I think too, like it's so crazy because I feel like we're all lying to ourselves in some degree, which that's a whole nother subject. But
Yeah.
like, so like the I don't have time habit, right? So okay, you don't have time, but do you spend 3 hours doom scrolling on your phone? Do you spend even 30 minutes a couple times a day doom scrolling? A couple times a day, that's an hour.
Let's not even get on the Netflix shows because Netflix has been slapping lately. I don't know if you've been peeping Netflix. They've been doing their big one.
Really? Okay, I need to get back in it. I haven't.
Girl, they've been doing your big one to make sure that they are the habit. Don't even get me tinfoil hat incoming. But I'm literally convinced that it is a distraction that they want us to have because they've been doing
Oh,
their
I
big
believe
big one
that.
on all fronts, documentaries, reality TV, dramas, like on all fronts, so that you end up in front of that television just I'll do it after the next episode.
Yep.
I'll get up after the next episode. I'll get up after the next episode. I love that you brought that up because I've been paying more attention to that in my own life. Like, how much time am I spending doom scrolling? And even though we both work online, so there is that, and we can't discount the fact that it is a part of our job to be online. But even like creating my short form content, my business coach has been really pushing me to, and this is, I guess, for any aspiring creators out there, to batch. And I'm sure you've heard this as a creator yourself, to,
Yeah.
batch your content. And we all know it's good for us, but like
We
not
all
all the
know
time.
it's good for us. We all know it's
We
good.
all know. But it doesn't always get done.
No.
And I've been tracking how long it takes me to post for the day, based on like, am I starting from scratch? Am I starting from B-roll? What is the message? And then on all the platforms and how much time that's eating up. And girlfriend, sometimes it's upwards of an hour and a half, 2 hours of just getting stuff on TikTok, Instagram,
Yeah.
YouTube. And that's just short form alone.
Right, right. And it adds up so quickly. And
It
then, like,
does.
if you are to batch it in, like, say, like 2 days out of the week, you actually are
You
scheduling
get
ahead of
back
time. So
time.
that way, like, you could actually download a platform that helps you post or do, scheduled posts. Then all of a sudden, you have that time back each every day. You're
Right.
not like, oh man, I got to post this. Let me take a time in
Right.
a second to write this caption.
To side quest really quickly, I'm sure there's somebody listening that's interested. How has that been with the baby? Like your social media and like batch posting or posting in general, just keeping your algorithm up. You know what I mean? I know,
Yes,
girl.
I
That's
can
why
tell.
I'm
But it's
curious.
actually made me really realize something that, and whether this is right or wrong, I feel like you can retrain the algorithm to pay attention to you more again because I
I
feel
can
like
see that.
through pregnancy and then postpartum, like I started really like not being consistent with posting and just being like I'll do it when I can do it and I'll add to the series when I can add to the series. But when that happened, like obviously the amount of impressions and people you're reaching goes down, right? Because you're not engaging as much throughout the day. The
Right?
beauty of that is like what I've noticed when I start pushing things out again consistently, it quickly starts throwing you out there more because it's like, oh,
It
your
hasn't seen
engagement's
you in a
going up, your
while.
followers are going up, like everything's going up. So it starts helping. But yeah, it's been hard. I'm not gonna lie, like it's
Yeah.
definitely hard because it's like before I was like, I need to post at 3 o'clock every single day and blah 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 or 5 days, and now I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not it right now, and that's okay.
Well, speaking of habits and motherhood, I'm totally side questing right now.
Hmm.
What sort of habits have you noticed that are like telling on you since being a mother? And like, you're a mother, you're a coach, you're a content creator, and like, what habits have you had to develop to juggle all of this and your own journey through bodybuilding?
Yeah, so it's been the habits that have been telling on me, I guess, are my food and my water. Um,
Yeah,
so, before I was always on a structured plan. I was like very easy, like checkbox. I had time for meal prep. I had time for all of that
right,
stuff. And then you go postpartum and you come home with like another human in your house and
yeah.
you realize like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm pouring everything into this other human, but I'm forgetting to pour into myself. So
Yeah,
like when I feel spacier or when I feel like I don't feel as good or Maybe I feel like I'm holding more water in my weight loss journey. Like, I know it's because I haven't been good on my water. Like right now I can tell
Yeah.
myself and say like I hit that fifth water bottle and that's great, but that isn't 7 or 8. You know what I
Right,
mean? My
right,
body's used
right.
to 7 or 8, and I can just tell. One, by bathroom trips. Two, by, like I said, how I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling, how I'm performing, how my strength is. And then even with food, like the other day I finally made time. And I prepped so many meals. I was
Oh,
so proud of
yay.
myself.
Yeah.
But it took like this mastery of being like, Callie, you like you say you're doing all the things, but you're lying to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get back to the basics and start dialing in the sense
Mm-hmm.
of planning for the meal prep. Stop saying like
Mm-hmm.
I can't meal prep right now. I just have to make them as I go because it's no, you can meal prep. You just have to rejig your
Mm-hmm.
schedule. Um
I
and
like
I
that
mean,
rejig.
what?
I like that rejig. Rejig your schedule. I like that.
Thanks. But I mean, and I feel like I'm doing good. I'm finally down to like 175, which is great.
Oh, we're
Um
twinning.
yeah,
Let's
you're
go, thick mama's in the house.
woo!
Yes.
Yeah, which I
Wow,
mean
who'd
makes
have
me feel
thought?
good because
Okay,
that's
good.
like I was 216 at the height of my pregnancy. So we're
It's a
making our
lot of
way
weight you
down.
pulled off, girlfriend.
Thank you.
You've been quiet about that.
I wonder what that is.
Because you were so loud about the pregnancy. So, and I have noticed you've been a bit more quiet about pulling off all that baby weight, which I know is a bitch.
Yeah, it
If I
is.
had to guess, it's probably because it's a fucking lot. Like, not again, we're kind of side questing, but even now that I'm in the 170s and some of my best content is transformation content. My
Yeah.
like the algorithm does not lie. And I have found myself feeling almost kind of embarrassed to
Yeah.
show this like 320-pound version of myself. And that came up like last week or something. I was talking to my sister about it, and I'm like, I wasn't embarrassed ever. And now I'm just like, fuck, And so it's like, because it's almost like you don't connect with that version of yourself that was before. Like at the
Yes.
height of your pregnancy, like, have you ever even seen 216? I feel like that's a lot of weight for you. Exactly,
No, the
exactly.
heaviest I had ever been was in my
Yeah.
bulk at 160 right before I got
Yeah.
pregnant.
So this is a body that you're not even used to. So there's probably just some like, whoa,
I think I
like,
disassociated.
this is that was the word I was looking for. Yeah, yeah.
Like, I am bad at this. I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I numb myself out mentally through a
Mm-hmm.
journey
Mm-hmm.
that might not be as exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's
Mm-hmm.
exciting going through a bulk and feeling like you're gaining muscle, and it's exciting going through a cut, being like you can
Yeah.
see what you've built. But it's not as it is. But there's also, I don't want to use the word shame, but there could be shame in the
Well,
fact,
I think there's shame, and I think
yeah,
it's okay to use the word shame.
yeah, of like postpartum when you're like you there's this duality of like such pride and like appreciation for your body and like feeling like
Yeah, yeah.
I was able to have something that some people try really
Right.
hard to have and they can't. But at the same time, like I shouldn't complain about it because once
Yeah.
again, people try really hard to have this and they can't.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but I also am like not where I want to be, so like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's so complex.
It's deep. Yeah, it's almost like you feel Ace knows you're talking about him.
That mommy
I
no,
feel
it's
yeah.
okay.
I feel like, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it's this idea of like I shouldn't complain about having this beautiful baby, but then you push out this baby and you're left with this body that is like, for lack of a better word, completely fucking wrecked. And like now it's like, okay, now we gotta like figure it out. 'Cause I know when we talk about shame, we have a third one. When you talk about shame in our body, the reason why I was saying I feel like it's okay to talk about shame is because we're also talking about this idea of toxic masculinity and toxic, skinny culture, which is an episode that I know that we wanted to talk about, right? And
Yes.
just this idea of having to be as small as possible, and then now I'm going to show it to the world. That's what I felt like. You guys know I love going deep. So like when I was over here posting something last week and I felt fucking weird and embarrassed about it, I'm like, where is that? I've been posting transformation content for like ever. Like what's actually going on here? And dissecting it even more, it's like, I don't want people to see me like that. And where does that's shame. I feel ashamed that I got myself like that. I feel ashamed, you know? And I think the more that we kind of unpack some of those more complex and deep and icky feeling emotions, the better we can lead to a path of healing. And to round this all the way back, that path of healing has a lot to do with our habits, subconscious and conscious, because at the end of the day, they will tell on us. They're showing us something. Our habits are mirrors, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, and that's something we could definitely, that's another episode we could dive into, like the
skinny culture
of
stuff.
it all.
Oh, oh yeah. Skinny talk is going crazy right now. I don't know if you've been following.
Yeah, it is going crazy. And it's really, I don't know, there's this one girl I saw this page where she's just like,
Liv? Is that
I can't remember her name, but she's horrible.
She's a skinny little blonde girl?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She is horrible. And she's like,
been...
the amount of time it would take you riding on here, you could be on the treadmill or something, like trying to get a skinny into me. I'm like, who is this bitch?
That's her. I'm not surprised she showed up in your algorithm. She's been wreaking havoc on social media.
Oh my gosh. And then at the same time, it makes you want to comment. And I'm like, that's exactly what she wants. So bye.
That's why she's doing it. Why she's doing it. She is
not
a very smart
her
cookie.
Any algorithm. And here I am talking to you about her. But
I know, right? If you guys, I know a lot of you guys listening probably know exactly who we're talking about. Some of my clients, one client in specific, you know who you are. She's the one that told me about her like a year ago. She told me about like skinny talk and all that stuff. And I was like, what the hell are you on, girl? And then lately it's been showing up more and more and more. I just watched this documentary on the whole empire. This woman was making $100K per month. $100K per month on people joining her membership and all they were doing was just feeding their EDs. And like talking about, there was one thing, oh my God, get this, Callie, you're going to die. So, and I literally saw it. So it wasn't even me just hearing it through a third party. I saw the post where it was inside the dashboard of her little group. And they were saying, if you're hungry at night, like it's just an oral fixation. So 2 birds, 1 stone, just, you know, please your partner. And yes, I'm not even joking. Please your partner, and that will relieve the oral fixation. Plus, you'll get protein.
Shut up.
Yeah. This is the stuff that is happening right now. These Gen Zers need our help. They need the way. Like, I get the Gen Zers are doing their big one with not drinking as much and not partying as much and being super into wellness. Okay, cool. But, like, some of these, I'm surrounded by Gen Zers. The looks maxing. Have you gotten into the looks maxing? Oh, my God. These little boys?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I don't know. Oh my gosh. Like,
girl,
let's not replace one toxic habit with another. Like,
right. Clearly, guys, that needs to be another episode. If you have any questions on this stuff, you know where to go.
Yes.
Fit Chicks Unfiltered.
Segued, like, but in the best
we did.
way.
In the best way, because this is what's happening in pop culture right now when it comes, like, wellness is at an all-time boom. People's feeds are filled with gym content. They're filled with fitness content. Everybody wants a dump truck. We love this. But on the other side, like, as above, so below, right? To get a little witchy on you guys listening, you know, we've got this great part of, like, women wanting to get muscular and really wanting to embrace strength. And then we have this other coin where you have, you know, public figures, for lack of a better word, saying, please your partner so you don't eat anything in the kitchen. Can you, like I am a garbage disposal?
Yeah.
And these people are taking this seriously.
No.
They're like, so for real.
That's so ridiculous.
I know.
People, the youths. Why?
It's crazy. So, guys, be on the lookout for that episode, because clearly we will just do a deep dive on this one. But going back to the habits, I want to talk a little bit about, speaking of social media habits. Your habits are telling on you, right? One thing I have noticed is how many times I pick up my phone, Callie,
Oh,
to, oh my God. Like, it's such a force of habit now. I'm like, I just checked my email. Why are we going back to Gmail? I just did it 2 minutes ago.
our attention spans. Actually, me and my husband were talking about this the other day. They're actually crafting, and you can tell when you watch commercials now and shows.
That cute man. If you guys haven't seen Kaylee's husband, he's such a cutie patootie. Ah,
Aw,
yeah.
that'll make him smile. He loves him some Ashley.
I know. I love him too.
But yeah, so we were talking about it. We're like, even commercials and shows, like
Mm-hmm.
flashing lights and all this stuff, is being like shaped now for these short ass attention spans because people are so used
Really
to getting bored and
intense.
swiping. Blah, 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 blah.
Squirrel brains.
Next thing, and it's like commercials are now like, if you're trying to watch them at night and keep the volume kind of low or something, or like maybe go to sleep at the same time, you're like, no way. It's like
Right.
volume out of nowhere, flashing lights. It's
Yeah.
short,
It's a lot.
photo clips. Like,
It's a lot. It makes me nervous for like where we're going as a society because they, as in the powers that be, yes, I'm getting tinfoil hat, have really trained us to have these squirrel brains, and we just need constant stimulation. The amount of times I've thought this week that I need to read a book, that's crazy. Like, if you are actively thinking, I need to read a book, that means like your brain is actively saying, we are too much on these screens.
yeah, which I
Pause for baby.
think,
Yeah.
I think it would be good. Like, even with my clients, I have that as one of my habits that I like them to do.
Me
is,
too.
like, spend 10, 15 minutes, read a book, or listen to a podcast. But do something that's like disconnecting, that like takes
Yeah.
it's like grounding in a sense.
Yes, I fully agree. You know, I think what we're really getting at, fam, is take a closer look at your habits because they will help you see the real picture, because it's so easy for us to lie. And it's so easy for us to lie to ourselves and for us to think we're doing the most, that we're doing our big one, that we're like really making headway. But we couldn't be doing everything. To bring it back to Goggins again, because like I said, he's been in my ear a lot because I've been needing to go back to basics. I'm like, we are entering another level, and I need Goggins to help me get there and settle into this next stage that we're at. But he was saying, apparently this is proven, I have not fact checked him, you guys can fact check him, that it's around 40% capacity when the brain is like, okay, we've had enough. Like, we're done. And you've only gotten to 40% of what you could actually do. And if you think about it, it makes sense, right? And I learned this, for those of you who don't know, I have an undergrad in biology, and I remember learning this in school, right? And it's just basic evolution. Our brain is a machine made to protect us. Like, it's not made for us to, we're going to go the distance. No, we want to live.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, we are biological creatures who want to live. That's how we are designed. That's what it is. No matter what you believe in, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And so the brain is here to protect us. And so when our brain shits the bucket, essentially what Goggins is saying is we still have 60% more left in the tank. And honestly, Callie, I believe him, because if you think about everything that we've done that we didn't think we could do, like if you take a step back, a God's view of life, and I'm sure everybody listening here, if you take a step back from your life and take a God's view, look at it, start to take note of the times where you did something that you didn't know you could do, whether it's something as simple as washing a spoon or something as grandiose as stepping on stage.
Yep.
And that should be proof right there. And how many times your brain tries to tell you, I can't, this is too hard,
Or
I
even
shouldn't.
lifting.
What?
Even with lifting, like heavy weights.
Even with lifting. Yes. Exactly. Oh my God, chills right now. I had 2 clients yesterday. Kelly, I watched them. This is why I love training in person as well. I watched them psych themselves out with the weight on separate pieces of equipment at separate times. And obviously, as a coach, I always tell them I would never give you something I didn't think that you couldn't do, even though they don't think that they could do it. Another nod to why coaches are great friends.
Yep.
And so I just remember like seeing them in real time, like getting to set to rep number 2 and rep number 3, and then oh, I don't know. And I'm like, you got it. Keep
Yes.
fucking going. And they did. They finished their set. They finished their rep. Like, first of all, if they were even close to failure, if I'm giving them 8 reps, they're not getting to 8. They, both of them got to their targeted rep count on more weight than they thought they could do. And both of them tried to tap out in the middle. Both of them, their mind was like,
That's
wait
such
a
an
second.
awesome like moment. One as a coach, but two as the
Yeah.
person being coached. Like
Mm-hmm.
realize like, whoa, I didn't think I could
Whoa.
do that, and I did that. Like I am strong. I
Exactly.
am powerful. I didn't
I
think that.
do got it.
Yeah,
I know. I
and
know.
once again, there's that. So like thinking about it in terms of bowling, the bumpers that they put on the lanes. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
our mind creates these bumpers to
Yeah, I
keep
like
us
that
safe.
analogy.
And I think in so many ways you can challenge the brain and push past it. And I think too, even like with those people who are deep divers, like maybe that's like spearfishing or whatever, they can hold their breath for like 4 to 6 minutes.
I find that so fascinating. The free divers and stuff.
Yes,
Some
yes.
of them upwards of 10 to 12.
Which
Isn't
is
that crazy?
wild. But think about how many times they push past their. I'm not saying y'all go hang out in the pool and try to hold your breath. But
Right.
you know what I mean. They
The
have
idea that,
comfort
I
level.
can't breathe. I'm suffocating. And it's just not true. Speaking of Netflix, did you watch, you would probably like this, you and Martin would, the Navy SEALs series. So there's a Navy SEAL series that goes, Goggins again, that goes over, excuse me, that goes over the SEALs and their buds training. And you've heard of buds, no? When you're becoming a Navy SEAL, it's when they are forced to drown. Their hands are tied behind their back. Yeah, everybody's like seeing that stuff. And they were saying, the Navy SEALs, like there were so many moments, like when you are literally hogtied and thrown in the water, when you literally feel like you're going to drown and you have to push past a point of realizing, I'm not going to drown. You have to like lean into it. And I think there's space here to be had about leaning into it. It's no fun to recognize I have a habit that is blocking my growth. I need to stop Netflixing at 2 a.m. so I can go to bed at 10 p.m. And I don't want to. And I have to be honest with myself that doing this is creating a negative feedback loop in my life, right? We
Yes.
all want to win. And to
Yes.
say that we're not winning makes us feel like failures. And we don't want to feel like that.
Right. No, I completely agree. And I think too, like to circle back to like some of that stuff, like how we talked about, like the 3 hour doom scrolling, like what is that? What are some things that also are like that? It could be like maybe you're prioritizing and saying yes to too many people that you shouldn't be. And all of a sudden you don't have time because you haven't like actually created a habit of prioritizing yourself, or like you're saying, procrastinating until late at night, keeping Netflix on, and like what those things, that habit may be telling on you by saying yes, by saying like I actually struggle with creating boundaries for myself, or I'm
I love how
overstimulated.
chatty he is
I
today.
know he
I
babbles
love,
all the
yeah, yeah, I love it. He
time.
must like to hear his own voice.
Yes, or
Yeah,
maybe he's used to his mom being a chatty Cathy all the time.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So it's like, okay, this is what we do. We talk.
yeah.
Um,
Right.
but yeah, it might say like, actually, your habits are telling you you are overstimulated, or I am
Mm-hmm.
avoiding discomfort. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not prioritizing myself, or like, I think more importantly, like, you just start creating healthy boundaries with yourself, and that's when
Yeah.
you're lying to yourself. You
Yeah.
do have time, and you haven't really analyzed exactly what your schedule is like. And this can be really beneficial because if you take time to not be so defensive of critiquing
Right.
yourself and allowing yourself to look at it in a constructive way, you might realize like, oh, this is an area I can improve on. What are some habits I can put in place to where I actually can work on this, and all of a sudden I am able to say no to Netflix at night, or at night, or I am able to say no, actually I don't have time to do that. I appreciate you
Mm-hmm.
asking. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think that that's something that I think would a lot of people can benefit from. I know I can benefit from. I think anyone can, in some degree, align with that.
Yeah. I mean, I would fully agree with you on all of that. I think when we are looking to be great or better than what we were, or who we are in that moment, we need to take a look at who we are in that moment, you know? And again, to round it out, what got us to point A or is probably not going to be what needs to get us to point B. We might need something else, a little more self-analyzation, a little more honesty, and even a little more critiquing.
Yeah.
And yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes we just get a little soft. Oh,
Yeah.
it's okay. But no, it's not. What's going
No, it's
on?
not. And it's such a fine line, I feel like, because it's like your inner critic, sometimes you need to tell it to shut the heck
Mm-hmm.
up and just like trust the process. But then at the same time, it's the complete opposite. You do have to have some inner dialogue on critiquing and
Mm-hmm.
evolving and getting better and looking at yourself openly for
Yeah.
the good and the bad so you can actually optimize what you're trying to
Yeah.
do. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, so is life.
Right. So is life. Um, I hope you guys like that. I hope you got some good tea, got some good nuggets of info. And, you know, just know that we are here for you and we're not coming down. I think a lot of this was a lot of us being honest with ourselves about our own shit, you know? And hopefully this helps you on your journey.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I mean, I think, when you think about it, like, think about your habits, like they are telling on yourself. Like, I guess I would leave you with, they're not random, Those are like identities that
Mm.
rehearsed over time, over and
Yes,
over
they
and
are.
over again. And like, knowing that you can rehearse new habits. Yes, it's
Mm-hmm.
an identity, but yes, you can evolve that identity as well. So if you're hearing this and you're feeling like we're pointing at you, that's okay. That's an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity for you to be like, you know what, I can walk away today and I can actually think about the identities I've been rehearsing over and over and over again that no longer serve me, and I need to make space for new ones. And let's get re-energized and build a new one. So that's what I would leave it with.
Yeah. Amazing. Awesome. You guys know the drill, friends. Like, share, subscribe. We're doing our influencer ish. You guys can work with either of us down or both of us
Yeah.
down below. And like I said, if right now you don't have it in your pockets to work with us, but you want to support, a like goes a long way. A share, a save, a subscribe goes longer than you think.
Yeah.
And with that, we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.